When we talk about sexual desire, most people immediately think of men. Movies, advertising, even casual conversations often frame men as the ones with constant, driving sexual needs. But what about women? For decades, the sexual needs of women were misunderstood, overlooked, or even dismissed as less important. Science, however, tells a very different story. Women experience sexual desire not just as a physical urge, but as a complex interplay of biology, hormones, emotions, and psychological needs. Their desire is not weaker, it's nuanced, dynamic, and deeply connected to overall well-being. Understanding female sexual desire requires us to look beyond stereotypes and myths into the biology of hormones, the chemistry of connection, and the psychology of intimacy. In this video, we will explore the fascinating science behind why women need. We'll uncover the hormonal signals that shape desire, the emotional and psychological effects, and how these factors influence relationships, health, and even daily mood. By the end, you'll see that sexual desire in women is not a luxury or a stereotype, it's a vital part of being human, a driver of connection, and an essential component of physical and emotional balance. To understand why women need, we must start with the biology behind desire. Sexual desire is not random, it is deeply rooted in the body's hormonal and neurological systems. Hormones act as chemical messengers, guiding the brain and body toward behaviors essential for reproduction, pleasure, and emotional connection. The female body operates on a sophisticated hormonal rhythm. The menstrual cycle, for instance, is a masterclass in timing and hormonal orchestration. Hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone fluctuate throughout the month, shaping mood, energy, and sexual motivation. Estrogen, the primary female hormone, plays a critical role. It increases blood flow to sexual organs, enhances nerve sensitivity, and elevates mood and energy levels. During ovulation, the peak fertility period, estrogen surges, naturally increasing sexual desire and receptiveness. This is the body's way of signaling readiness for reproduction. Progesterone, often called the balancing hormone, rises after ovulation. It helps prepare the body for potential pregnancy, stabilizes mood, and can slightly decrease sexual desire, demonstrating how hormones finely tune the female body to different phases of the cycle. Testosterone is often misunderstood as a male hormone, but it plays a powerful role in female sexual desire too. Women produce testosterone in the ovaries and adrenal glands. Even in small amounts, it fuels libido, increases sensitivity to sexual cues, and amplifies the brain's reward response to pleasure. Beyond reproduction, these hormones influence energy, confidence, and emotional connection. They signal to the brain when it is optimal to seek intimacy, reward connection, or prioritize self-care. In essence, a woman's need for is embedded in her biology. It is a natural, hormone-driven urge, intertwined with health and survival mechanisms. But biology alone doesn't tell the full story. Hormones interact with the brain's chemistry, creating emotional and psychological experiences that are as important as the physical ones. This interplay between body and mind is what makes female desire rich, nuanced, and essential for well-being. At the heart of female desire lies a powerful hormonal trio: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Each of these hormones plays a unique role in shaping not just the body, but also the mind and emotional responses. Let's start with estrogen. Often called the primary female hormone, estrogen does more than regulate the reproductive system. It increases sensitivity in the brain's pleasure centers, boosts energy, and enhances the body's responsiveness to intimate connection. During certain phases of the menstrual cycle, estrogen surges, naturally increasing the desire for closeness and emotional bonding. Next is progesterone, sometimes referred to as the balancing hormone. It peaks after ovulation and works to stabilize mood and regulate emotional responses. While it can slightly lower the drive for physical intimacy compared to estrogen, it is essential for creating emotional stability and preparing the body for potential pregnancy. Progesterone ensures that desire is balanced with well-being, creating a harmonious rhythm in the body. Then there's testosterone. Although often labeled a male hormone, testosterone is vital in women too. Produced in the ovaries and adrenal glands, it fuels libido, heightens sensitivity to stimuli, and strengthens motivation toward intimate connection. Even in small amounts, testosterone can influence confidence, assertiveness, and the brain's reward response, amplifying the enjoyment and emotional satisfaction of intimate experiences. What makes this trio fascinating is their interaction. Estrogen can enhance dopamine activity in the brain, boosting pleasure and reward from intimacy. Progesterone can moderate emotional responses, preventing overstimulation and ensuring balance. Testosterone acts as a motivator, subtly nudging the body toward experiences that reinforce connection and bonding. Together, these hormones create a dynamic system. They shape not just physical readiness, but also emotional openness, sensitivity, and motivation for closeness. Understanding this hidden trio helps us see that women's need for intimate connection is not arbitrary, it's biologically programmed, psychologically nuanced, and essential for overall well-being. While estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone set the stage for desire, the hormones dopamine and oxytocin orchestrate the emotional experience of intimacy. These chemicals act directly on the brain, influencing feelings of pleasure, bonding, and connection. Dopamine is often called the reward hormone. It is released in anticipation of enjoyable experiences, creating motivation and excitement. In the context of intimate connection, dopamine signals the brain that closeness is rewarding, reinforcing behaviors that strengthen emotional and physical bonds. This is why women often feel more energized, attentive, and emotionally engaged during periods of heightened dopamine activity. Oxytocin, on the other hand, is the hormone of trust and attachment. Released during intimate interactions, it fosters a sense of closeness and security. Oxytocin helps build emotional bonds with partners, promotes empathy, and enhances the feeling of being connected. It is sometimes called the love hormone because it underlies the deep, trusting connections that form between people. These two hormones don't work in isolation. Dopamine drives the excitement, the anticipation, and the motivation toward intimacy, while oxytocin deepens the emotional connection and reinforces long-term bonding. Together, they create a powerful combination: desire paired with attachment, motivation paired with emotional satisfaction. The release of dopamine and oxytocin is influenced by the hormonal environment of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Estrogen can increase dopamine sensitivity, making intimate experiences more rewarding. Progesterone moderates responses to ensure balance, and testosterone can enhance motivation toward emotional closeness. Understanding this chemistry helps explain why intimate connection is not just a physical act. It is an emotionally rich, psychologically meaningful experience. The drive for closeness, intimacy, and bonding is a fundamental part of human biology, one that nurtures relationships, supports emotional health, and contributes to overall well-being. Hormones do more than regulate the body, they shape the mind. Female desire and motivation for intimate connection are closely intertwined with psychological and emotional states, creating a complex dance between biology and experience. Estrogen, for example, does not only enhance physical readiness, it also elevates mood, increases confidence, and sharpens attention to social cues. Around ovulation, when estrogen peaks, women often feel more socially engaged, more assertive, and more attuned to the emotions of those around them. This heightened state naturally supports intimacy, emotional openness, and motivation for closeness. Progesterone, in contrast, plays a stabilizing role. After ovulation, when progesterone rises, it can reduce impulsive drives and support emotional regulation. Women may feel calmer, more reflective, and more focused on maintaining balance in relationships. In this way, progesterone ensures that desire is harmonized with well-being, helping manage emotional highs and lows. Testosterone influences not only physical motivation but also psychological drive. Higher levels of testosterone are linked to increased confidence, assertiveness, and the pursuit of rewarding experiences, including intimate connection. It fuels initiative, encourages exploration of social and emotional bonds, and enhances responsiveness to stimuli that the brain perceives as pleasurable or meaningful. Together, these hormones create a nuanced interplay. Desire is influenced by mood, emotional stability, and the anticipation of reward. The psychological side of female intimacy is deeply rooted in this hormonal symphony. It explains why women's motivation for connection varies across the cycle, why emotional closeness can intensify desire, and why intimate experiences often carry profound psychological significance. Understanding this side of desire is essential. Female intimacy is not simply a physical act, it is a meaningful expression of emotion, a response to hormonal rhythms, and a driver of psychological health and fulfillment. Society has long misunderstood female desire. Popular culture often portrays women as passive, disinterested, or less driven than men when it comes to intimacy. These stereotypes are not only inaccurate, they are harmful. Science tells a very different story. Women's desire is complex, dynamic, and highly influenced by biological, psychological, and emotional factors. It is shaped by hormones, brain chemistry, social context, and personal experiences. One common myth is that women only seek intimacy for emotional reasons, while men are driven purely by physical desire. In reality, women's drive for closeness involves both emotional and physiological components. Hormones like testosterone, estrogen, dopamine, and oxytocin demonstrate that women's desire is rooted in biology just as much as men's, and often intertwined with emotional connection. Another misconception is that desire remains constant. The truth is, hormonal cycles, stress, mood, and relationship dynamics influence motivation for intimacy. Women experience natural fluctuations in drive, and this is a normal, healthy part of human biology, not a flaw or limitation. Social stigmas also discourage open discussion about female desire. Many women internalize these messages, feeling shame or guilt about their natural impulses. This not only impacts relationships but can also affect self-esteem, emotional well-being, and even overall health. By understanding the science, we can challenge these myths. Female desire is neither shameful nor mysterious, it is a normal, healthy aspect of life. Recognizing the biological and psychological factors at play allows us to approach intimacy with respect, empathy, and awareness, empowering women to embrace their natural rhythms and needs. Understanding female desire is more than a scientific curiosity, it's a pathway to empathy, health, and connection. From the intricate dance of hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, to the emotional chemistry of dopamine and oxytocin, the human body and mind work together to create motivation for intimacy, emotional closeness, and bonding. Recognizing the natural rhythms of desire allows women to embrace their own needs without shame, and it allows partners and society to respect and honor these biological and psychological realities. Desire is not arbitrary, it is a vital part of well-being, influencing mood, health, relationships, and overall life satisfaction. By acknowledging both the biological and emotional aspects of intimacy, we can move beyond outdated stereotypes and embrace a holistic understanding. Women's need for connection, physical, emotional, and psychological, is a normal, healthy, and essential part of being human. In the end, the science is clear. Female desire is a complex interplay of biology, brain chemistry, and emotional intelligence. It supports health, nurtures relationships, and enhances life satisfaction. Understanding it with curiosity, respect, and empathy is not just enlightening, it is empowering. Let's celebrate this knowledge, challenge misconceptions, and create a culture where natural rhythms, emotional connection, and well-being are respected and valued for everyone.